My beloved child, I have spoken to you many times, yet you have only heard the wind and have not recognized it as my voice. I have stirred your heart through moments that seemed accidental, a passing thought, a chance encounter, a soft breeze moving through your mind in the long night. But you counted them as small things. Now I come so you will know that nothing in your life is random. Every breath, every turbulence, every hush has been permitted and arranged by me to lead you to the place where your soul awakens. From the foundation of the world I have seen you. I knew your name before it was ever spoken by human lips. I have watched your unsteady steps in the dark and the times you tried to sing through your pain. Not a single one of your tears has fallen without my notice. Not one prayer has been carried off by the wind without my hearing it. You thought I was silent, but that silence was not absence. It was an invitation for you to go deeper into the place where stillness becomes the language of faith. My child, I am calling you out of the familiar. My wind is rising, and you must learn to listen within that wind. For the wind is not merely moving air, the wind is my breath. I am the one who sent the wind across the Red Sea to open a way for Israel, and I am the same one whose son said to the storm, "Be still," and the wind obeyed. Now my wind is moving again, not to destroy, but to cleanse. Not to make you afraid, but to awaken what has slept too long within your soul. You have lived in repeating cycles, trying to control everything around you. You believed yourself strong, yet that strength has worn your soul thin. You have run and arrived nowhere because you forgot that some doors open only when you are still. You have sought to understand, yet there are things that can only be received by faith. You say to me, "Lord, why can't I hear you?" And I say, "Because you listen more to the world's noise than to my wind. Be still, my child, for in that stillness I will make your soul know me. I do not speak to condemn, but to prepare. The days ahead will test your foundation, and I do not want you swept away when the storm comes. Remember, I am not the God of chaos, but of order and purpose. Everything I do has a reason, even when your eyes cannot yet see it. Believe that even when the wind blows against you, it serves my intention. My wind brings life to parched ground, but it also carries away what has decayed. If you feel certain things being taken from you, know that I am purifying, not punishing. Beloved child, you are entering a season in which I will teach you to live by my breath and not by the world's rhythm. You will learn that true faith is not knowing every answer, but knowing me, the one who holds every answer. Like an eagle riding the currents, you will learn to use the wind instead of fearing it. When you stop resisting, my wind will lift you. When you cease relying on your own reasoning, my spirit will lead you. Do not be afraid. Every wind I allow carries you closer to the purpose of your life. You have heard my name, but now I want you to know my heart. I am not a distant stranger on high. I am the Father who sits beside you on a rainy night. When you sigh, I hear. When you are weary, I see. When you fall silent, I still speak with you in ways your soul has not yet recognized. I do not want you to know me only by second-hand stories. I want you to experience me in the living proof of your own life. For you are not made merely to hear about me, but to live in me. My child, examine your heart. There are things you cling to that I never gave you. There are attachments, dreams, and burdens you carry because you are afraid to let go. But if you do not release them, you cannot receive the new. I cannot pour new wine into old wineskins. The change I am working in your life will begin within, not without. I am dismantling old structures in your soul, twisted beliefs, deep-rooted fears, and memories you have worn like chains. Let me free you. Let my wind sweep away the remnants. Only when you are free can you truly fly. Do not be alarmed if it feels as though everything is falling apart. You may think I am taking away, but I am reshaping the blessing. Like a potter, I am remolding your vessel. I know every crack, every weak place, every spot that must meet the fire. The fire does not come to ruin the clay, but to strengthen it and give it worth. You may feel yourself in the kiln, but know that I am there with you. I do not abandon the fire, I govern it. And when the flames subside, you will not step out as the same person. You will shine brighter, stand stronger, and walk in greater authority. Do not compare your journey with another's. Each one is called by me in their appointed time. Some are being hidden, some are being sent, some are being refined. Yet all are held within my perfect plan. If you have not yet seen what I promised, it does not mean I have forgotten. It means I am still preparing you to carry the blessing. A gift given too soon can become a burden. I love you enough to wait. Learn to love me enough to wait as well, my beloved. As I once spoke through Micah 7:8, though I fall, I will rise. Though I sit in darkness, the Lord will be my light. So it shall be for you. Though darkness may still cover you now, my light is already shining. It does not arrive in a sudden flash, but in quietness, like the sun lifting slowly over a mountain range. Believe in the light even before you see it, for only those who trust in the dark truly know the worth of dawn. Therefore prepare not with anxiety, but with obedience. Set your life in order like someone laying a table for an honored guest, for I am coming to dwell within. Make room for me in every thought, every decision, every moment. Let me be the wind that moves through the rooms of your heart, cleansing every corner. For when I come, the old will pass away, and all things will be made new. Stay awake, for my wind is blowing. Open your heart, for my word is coming. Stand firm, for the storm cannot overcome the one whose foundation is on the rock. You do not need to understand everything. You need only to trust that I never leave my work half done. Walk on, my child, not by sight, but by faith. For where the wind blows, I am there. Where your heart trembles, it is I who am touching it. And in the place you fear most, there, I will reveal myself with the greatest strength. My child now listens more closely, for what I am about to speak is not only to comfort you, but to equip you. From yesterday until today, I have tried to reach your soul through small signs, yet you could not focus enough to recognize them. It is not because your heart is hard, but because you are surrounded by many sounds. Therefore today I speak directly, so you will no longer be confused, hesitant, or delayed. This is not a gentle invitation like in past seasons. This is an urgent call. I am calling you to prepare for a circumstance that is coming, one that will overwhelm you if you are not steadfast in me. But if you are equipped in me, that very circumstance will become a bridge that carries you to a new level of union with me. I do not warn to sow fear. I warn so that you will be safe. Like a father who sees the storm ahead and tells his child to shut the doors securely, so do I. I see the winds that your eyes have not yet seen. I perceive the tremors your heart has not yet felt. I know ahead of time the enemy's attacks against your focus, your relationship with me, and the simplicity of your faith. And because I love you, I will not let you walk into this unannounced. My love is not a love that only soothes. My love also awakens. Those whom I love I rebuke and discipline. I have spoken this, and that word stands firm even now. Look back over these recent days. Do you notice that I have allowed certain doors to close? Some relationships have cooled, some plans no longer flow easily, and certain job paths or opportunities that seemed so fitting have not opened. You ask me, why won't you give me this when it seems good? And I say to you, my child, not everything that is good is yours. I do not lead you by what feels pleasant. I lead you by purpose. There are things I close, not because they are evil, but because they would slow your steps. There are connections I set at a distance, not because the other is wicked, but because you need space to hear my voice without mixture. There are assignments I withhold, not because I would refuse your provision, but because I am teaching you to shift from a human supply system to heaven's provision. My child, the preparation I am calling for is not merely external. I do not begin with the material and then touch the spiritual. I always begin with the spirit. If your heart is not set in order, every outward equipping becomes a burden. So the first thing I call you to do is to set in order the altar within your heart. That altar once burned brightly, but lately the flame has lowered, not because you do not love me, but because you have been worn down by activities that seem to be about me, yet did not originate from me. You have served, you have interceded, you have supported others, you have held others up, but you have forgotten to sit at my feet. You have carried the burdens of others, while I told you, cast all your burdens on me. You have tried to appear strong so the weak would not stumble, yet in the secret place you are tired. I see this. I do not accuse you. I call you back to the hidden place where no applause demands you, where no one pulls on you, where it is only you and me. There I will pour new oil upon you. You cannot step into the coming battle on old oil. You cannot live an entire new season on an old vision. You cannot withstand the enemy's new deceptions with teachings you once heard only on the surface. That is why I am calling you now, store up oil. Like the wise virgins in the parable my son spoke, they did not only wait, they prepared. They did not merely have lamps, they had oil. They did not only love the bridegroom, they lived as though he could come at any moment. So must you, my child. Do not only say you love me. Live as though I could redirect you at any time. Kneel as though I could speak at any hour. Soften your heart as though I could touch any hardened place. My beloved, as I once said through Micah 7:8, though I fall, I will rise. Though I sit in darkness, the Lord will be my light. So it will be for you. Though darkness still seems to cover you now, my light is already shining. It does not arrive in a flash, but in quietness, like the sun slowly climbing over the mountains. Believe in the light, even before you see it, for only those who trust in the night truly know the value of the dawn. Therefore prepare not with worry, but with obedience. Set your life in order as one who lays a table for an honored guest, for I am coming to dwell within. Make room for me in every thought, every decision, every moment. Let me be the wind that moves through the chambers of your heart, cleansing every corner. For when I come, the old will pass away, and all things will be made new. Be watchful, for my wind is blowing. Open your heart, for my word is coming. Stand firm, for the storm cannot defeat the one whose foundation is on the rock. You do not need to understand everything. You only need to trust that I never leave my work half done. Walk on, my child, not by sight, but by faith. Where the wind blows, I am there. Where your heart trembles, it is I who am touching it. And in the place you fear most there, I will reveal myself most powerfully. My child, listen more closely now, for what I am about to say is not only to comfort you, but to equip you. From yesterday until today, I have tried to reach your soul with small signs, but you have not been able to focus to recognize them. It is not because you are hard of heart, but because you are surrounded by too many voices. So today, I speak directly that you will no longer be confused, hesitant, or delayed. This is not a gentle invitation like in past seasons. This is an urgent call. I am calling you to prepare for a circumstance that is coming, one that will overwhelm you if you are not steadfast in me. But if you are equipped in me, that very circumstance will become a bridge carrying you into a new level of union with me. I do not warn to plant fear. I warn so that you will be safe. Like a father who sees a storm approaching and tells his child to secure the doors, so do I. I see the winds your eyes have not yet seen. I perceive the tremors your heart has not yet felt. I know in advance the enemy's assaults against your focus, your relationship with me, and the simplicity of your faith. And because I love you, I will not let you enter unannounced. My love is not a love that only soothes. My love also awakens. Those whom I love I rebuke and discipline. I have spoken this, and that word stands firm today. Look back over recent days. Do you notice that I have allowed certain doors to close? Some relationships have grown cool. Some plans are no longer convenient. Certain job paths or opportunities that seemed reasonable have not opened. You ask me, why won't you give me this when I see it as good? And I say to you, my child, not everything that is good belongs to you. I do not lead you by pleasant feelings. I lead you by purpose. There are things I close not because they are bad, but because they would slow your steps. There are connections I set at a distance, not because the other person is evil, but because you need space to hear my voice without mixture. There are assignments I withhold, not because I do not want you provided for, but because I am teaching you to move from a human supply system to heaven's provision. My child, the preparation I speak of is not only prayer more, though prayer is breath, nor merely reading my word more, though my word is daily bread. This preparation is intentional, surrender. It means you must examine everything you are doing and ask, did this come from you or did I take it on myself? You must ask, does this relationship serve the purpose of my life, or does it only soothe my loneliness? You must ask, am I keeping what you told me to release because I doubt you can care for me, or because I do not yet want you to go deeper? This is the hour for honesty. I cannot pour more into a vessel still filled with what is not of me. I cannot place a new robe upon you while you cling to last year's garment. I cannot lead you into the promised land if you still carry Egypt's idols. That is why I say, let them go. Some relationships are for a season. Some roles are for a stage. Some doors open for you to pass through, not to pitch a tent. You have loved certain seasons so much that you mistook them for destiny. But destiny is not a season. It is a continuous stream of obedience. With every act of obedience, you go a level deeper. With every release, you are lifted. With every yes, you are brought nearer to what I wrote about you before the world was formed. Do not fear loss. I have never taken anything from the hands of the surrendered without giving something greater. I ask you only to set down the temporary, so I may place the eternal in your hands. I ask you to relinquish a single grain of wheat, so that I may give you a field. In the days ahead, others may not understand you. They will ask, why leave your job? Why stop that project? Why decline that seemingly good relationship? You will not be able to explain in their language because they have not heard the wind you have heard. Do not let their misunderstanding draw you away from obedience. Do not delay merely to wait for agreement. I do not call the crowd, I call you personally. Your name is on my lips. Your soul is before me. This preparation is tailored for you, for your process, for your place in the body. I am arranging for this time. If you wait until everyone around you is ready, you will miss your own appointed time. Understand also that preparation is not only about letting go, it is also about receiving. You must receive a new vision of me. In past years, you have known me as Comforter, Healer, and Merciful One. Now I want you to know me as Commander of the battle. You have known me as a gentle Father. Now you will know me as the Almighty King. You have known me on the plains. Now you will know me on the mountaintop. This will change how you pray. You will no longer merely ask to survive. You will make declarations as one who is sent. You will no longer only say, please, Lord, but according to your will, accomplish it through me. You will no longer seek miracles only for yourself, but you will intercede for a lineage for those who have not yet entered freedom, for those chained by generational patterns. For the battle before you is not only about you, it concerns generations tied to your yes. Beloved, to prepare you must withdraw to the secret place, not retreating out of fear, but to be filled. Make room for me. Re-establish the habit of seeking. Reset the rhythms of your soul. Relight the morning lamp. Restore the night watch in prayer. Let my word resound in your home, on your lips, and along your path. Do not only hear of me from others. Let me teach you directly. I will speak to you in your sleep. I will nudge you in the middle of the day. I will use the smallest details of daily life to remind you that I am preparing you. But you must be alert. If you let your heart drift into entertainment, argument, and comparison, you will not hear. Quiet the noise. Shut the door. Say to your soul, be still, for my God would speak. Do not worry that you are not enough. I have never required you to come to me perfect. I require you to come to me true. If you are weak, tell me you are weak. If you are afraid, confess your fear to me. If you are weary, let me know your weariness. I do not despise weakness. I only refuse pretense. I can fill a cracked vessel, but I cannot fill a sealed one. Open your heart. Let me speak deeper than you have allowed. Let me touch the places you thought I did not care about. Let me enter the painful chapters of your history, the memories you hide, the disappointments that make you hesitant to trust. True preparation includes my healing of your foundations. You cannot fight great battles while old wounds still bleed. This is my call. Cleanse, release, listen, store oil, stay near. Do not wait for the storm to seek shelter. Do not wait for the battle to sharpen your sword. Do not wait for the door to open to ask for oil. This is the moment. This is the time. This is the hour of preparation. I am at work, and I do not want you merely to watch. I want you to partner with me. If you walk with me in this hour, you will not be surprised in the hour to come. If you obey me in the preparation, you will stand firm in the unveiling. And when others ask how you remained at peace amid shaking, you will say, because my Lord spoke beforehand and I prepared. If you are willing, I will take you deeper still. But that begins with a single yes today. My beloved, I know your heart has been heavy in these recent days. You have looked around and seen things collapsing. What you once believed solid now feels fragile. People you thought would remain have quietly left. But do not let your eyes define reality. In what you call loss, I am writing restoration. In what you assume is an ending, I am beginning something new. I have never withdrawn my hand from your life. When you see only ashes, that is when I am breathing life. My wind never blows in vain. It always carries life, and today that wind carries hope. You have come through a season of silence, and perhaps you thought I had forgotten. Yet in the silence I have been planting promises. Like a seed hidden in the earth, unseen and unheard, life is quietly breaking forth. Do not fear the unseen seasons. They are the seasons of roots. You cannot grow tall unless your roots go deep. Every moment of waiting, every minute of patience is not wasted. I am deepening your soul so it can hold the blessing that is coming. I do nothing halfway. When I speak, I fulfill. When I sow, I also reap. My child, I hear your sighs in the night. You think I am silent, but I am standing right there silent with you. I do not watch from a distance. I sit beside you in the pain you cannot put into words. When you are weak, I do not turn my face away. When you lose faith, I do not withdraw my promises. I once kept my people through 40 years in the wilderness, not to punish them, but to teach them who I am. I am also keeping you in this journey to teach you what success can never teach: trust in the unseen. You do not need to understand everything. You only need to know that I am still here, and I am still good. You have asked me to change the season, but I am using this season to change you. You have asked me to open the way, but I am opening your heart first. For some doors outside only open when the door within is unbarred. Some miracles are born only when the soul is ready to receive. My child, I am not leading you through hardship to harm you, but to shape you. As gold must pass through fire to shine, so you must pass through trial for my light within you to be revealed. Every time you choose forgiveness, even when no one sees, heaven records it. Every time you choose silence instead of retaliation, I am growing within you. Every time you choose to believe when you see nothing, I call that victory. Lift your eyes from what is temporary, for your hope is not in outcomes, but in the one who promises. My word never returns empty. You may have forgotten what you prayed for, but I have not. I am still orchestrating what your eyes cannot yet see, so that at the appointed moment, everything will fit together like perfect pieces of a whole. You will look back and understand that had I answered earlier, you would not have been mature enough to carry the blessing. Had I made it easy, you would not have learned endurance. Had I opened the way when you first asked, you would not know how to walk when the light dims. Therefore I moved slowly, not to wound you, but to prepare you for greater things. Do not measure your worth by praise or the recognition of others. The world forgets quickly, but I do not. They may not understand you, but I do. They may not see the work you do in secret, but I see. They may judge results. I weigh motives. I see every time you choose righteousness over convenience. I see every time you intercede for others while you yourself lack. I see your faithfulness in small things, and I will use that very faithfulness to entrust you with greater things. Do not fear that you are wasting your youth or your time. Not a single moment given to me is lost. Every sacrifice for my name is recorded. When I answer in abundance. When I open, no one can shut. When I allow storms to come, it is not to drown you, but so you may know my strength within you. Just as Peter only knew the power of my Son when he dared to step out of the boat, you will truly know me when you step beyond your comfort. You do not need to know how deep the water is. You only need to know that my arm is long enough. When you sink, I will pull you up. When you are weak, I will uphold you. When you are lost, I will find you. Do not fear the unknown, for I am there before you. Wherever you go, my footprints are already set. You need only to follow. I want you to see your trials through the eyes of hope. Do not ask, why is this happening? Ask, Lord, what are you teaching me through this? Every trial has a voice. Every pain carries a message. And when you learn to listen, you will discover that even in darkness, there is a whisper of grace. The place that hurts most is the place where I speak loudest. The place where you assume I am absent is the place where I am closest. Look by the light of my promises, not through the fog of fear. Remember my word in Isaiah 4:3-2. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. And when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, the flame will not consume you. This word was not only for the ancients, it is for you today. The waters will rise, but they will not defeat you. The fire will flare, but it will not burn you. For I have sealed you with my own Spirit. No power can snatch you from my hand. You do not belong to darkness. You belong to light. Not a light you produce, but the light I have placed within you, which wind, storm, and night cannot extinguish. And when the storm passes, you will see everything differently. What once terrified you will become your testimony. The tears that once made you frail will become oil to anoint others. You will say to despairing souls, I have been there and God brought me out. I will make fruit from your pain. I will turn your disappointments into deep understanding. You will not merely survive, you will be restored. And not only restored, you will be sent. For I do not heal you only to make you comfortable. I heal you to make you a vessel of hope. My wind is blowing and it carries the fragrance of a new season. Rise, shake off the dust of the past and ready your spirit. The days ahead are not only days of testing, they are days of revealing. I will bring forth what I have sown in you. I will revive dreams you thought had died. I will mend what was broken and stitch together what was torn. You will see me more clearly, and you will know that nothing I have spoken has been lost. Every word, every promise, every whisper, each is taking form. My beloved, let my wind move through your life without resistance. Do not fear the trembling. It only signals that I am drawing near. Do not fear the changes. They are signs of restoration. Do not fear the closed doors. They open to better ones. Do not fear the dark. My light has never gone out. I have begun a good work for you, and I will bring it to completion. For I am the God who does not break his word. Be still, be at peace, and know that I am your Lord. My child, there are seasons when I do not speak, not because I have left you, but because I am working in the deepest place of your soul, where words are no longer enough to express what I am doing. There are seasons when you pray and hear only your own voice echo back. Nights when you lift your eyes to heaven and the sky stays thick with clouds and silence. You ask, Lord, where are you? Why don't you answer? Know this: when I am silent, I am not absent. When I hide myself, I am at work. When you cannot hear me, that is when I am writing your next chapter with the ink of refinement. You once thought that faith is feeling my nearness. True faith is believing even when you do not feel. If you trust only when you hear me, you are leaning on emotion, not on the deep bond between your soul and my spirit. My child, I do not nourish the soul with excitement, but with steadiness. My silence is the furnace of your faith, the place where you learn that love does not depend on immediate response, and a promise does not need instant proof to keep its value. I know you have wept sometimes with no words left to pray. I see the nights you grow weary, trying to understand me. You say, if you are truly with me, why must I endure this? I do not lead you through fire to watch you suffer, but to make you shine. As gold is refined only by passing through flame, do the impurities surface. I do not rush to snatch you from the fire, because I know that very fire is exposing what you must release. While you still thrash, you are not ready. When you surrender, I begin to reshape you. And when you are silent yet still believe, I call that faith made pure. There are things you cannot learn when I speak. You can only learn them when I am silent. When I speak, you listen with your ears. When I am silent, you learn with your heart. In that quiet, you discover what truly sustains your soul. You realize that not miracles, not answers, but my presence itself is what you most need. You learn that I am not only the one who gives what you want, but the one who knows exactly what your soul needs to grow. When I am silent, do not try to break it with the noise of worry. Do not stuff it full with your own plans or the words of others. Let that silence teach you patience. Waiting does not kill the dream. Unbelief does. I am working in the dark not to hide from you, but because seeds sprout only where no eye sees. Everything I am doing for you is growing quietly, even when you think nothing is happening. Look back over your life and you will see the seasons you called deserts were the very seasons I drove your roots deepest. Do not fear the dark. I am the light in its midst. As I once said, let there be light when the earth was formless and void, I am still speaking that over your life. Do not panic at the silence, for in that very silence, I am arranging the moment the light will burst forth. When you see no sign at all, that is when I am clearing the way for the miraculous. What you call delay, I call preparation. Every moment of waiting has a purpose. I am never late, and I am never in a hurry. My timing is perfect, for I see the end from the beginning while you see only the present. Learn to rest in my silence. Rest does not mean you stop acting. It means you stop worrying. Rest is not giving up. It is trusting that I still hold the helm. You may not know the direction, but I do. You may not see the road, but I am the way. Take one step at a time and trust, like one who walks at night, yet knows for certain the sun will rise. With me, dawn never comes late. My beloved child, there is a kind of silence you must learn to love, the silence of companionship. As two lovers can understand each other without words, I want you to know that our love can be silent and still be full. At times I do not speak because I want you to sit quietly and feel my breath within your heart. I want you to know that true love is not always noisy. Sometimes it is an unexplainable peace, a gentle stream running through your soul, washing away all turmoil. That is when I am nearest. If people tell you silence proves absence, do not believe them. Look at the cross. When my only son hung there, he cried, my God, why have you forsaken me?" And heaven seemed silent. But in that very silence, the greatest redemption was being accomplished. So do not fear silence. Sometimes heaven is quiet not because it abandons, but because it is finishing a work you will only understand later. I speak to you today. Be still. Do not leave the place I set you, simply because I have not spoken something new. Do not run to seek another prophecy while the last word remains undone. Faithfulness in waiting is the first test of the chosen. If you cannot be still in the quiet, you will not hear me in the thunder. Let your heart grow calm, for I am drawing near. Do not mistake silence for an ending. It is the in-breath before I speak something great. Keep your lamp burning and your eyes on me, for when I speak you will see that every silent minute had meaning. My child, the season of refining is never pleasant, but it always yields what is precious. I am stripping away the husks that have dimmed your light. After the silence, my voice in you will sound deeper, stronger, clearer. Like an instrument after it has been tuned, true, your life will sing a new melody in harmony with my will. I do not let you melt to destroy you. I let you melt to remake you. Believe this, though you have not yet heard I am speaking, though you have not yet seen I am working, though you have not yet understood. I remain who I am, the one who will never abandon you. I know the fire draws near. You feel its heat, yet you have not realized that I am the one who permits its flame. Do not panic. My fire is not like the world's. It does not come to burn you up, but to refine you, not to end you, but to begin you anew. Only fire separates gold from dross. Only fire proves the true worth of what is tested. In the same way, only fire reveals the genuineness of your faith. When I look upon you, I do not only see what you are doing, I see what you are becoming. Every trial I allow is a tool to shape your soul into my likeness. You have asked me to use you, but you did not yet know that every instrument I use must be forged in the flame. No sword is made from soft metal. No vessel is entrusted with authority without tempering. So when the fire comes, know that I am making you a weapon of light, not a victim of trial, my beloved child. There is a furnace. No one can avoid the furnace of inner transformation. The fire of circumstances only burns away what clings to the outside, but my fire reaches the deepest roots within. It incinerates pride, consumes illusions, and melts every disguise you have worn to protect yourself. I allow the things that wound you not to make you weak, but to reveal the places still unhealed. I allow others to misunderstand you, to forge humility in you. I allow loss to teach you that true worth is not found in what you possess, but in what remains when everything else falls away. When you feel as though everything around you is collapsing, pause and ask me, Lord, what is this fire teaching me? For no fire is wasted. Every flame I permit has a purpose, sometimes to purify, sometimes to illuminate, sometimes to prove. But whatever the purpose, that fire is always under my control. Not a single spark is allowed to burn beyond what I permit. As in Job's story, the enemy could only go as far as I set the limit, and in the end Job was restored twice. Fire has no authority to destroy. It has authority only to reveal. Remember, Daniel and his 3 friends were thrown into the furnace, yet I was with them in the midst of the flames. The ropes burned away, but they were unharmed. Even the smell of smoke did not cling to their garments because I was there. In the same way, you will not be destroyed in the fire if you know that I am in the midst of it. You need not fear. When everything around you is being burned, only be sure that I am within you. Where I am present, the fire cannot prevail. Where I dwell, trials cannot consume. For fire never burns what belongs to me. It only burns what cannot go with you into the new season. I know you are asking, Lord, why don't you put out the fire now? Because, my child, if I quench it too soon, the gold will not yet be gold. If I pull you out mid-process, you will be softer and more breakable than ever. I am a skilled smith. I know precisely the heat your soul can bear. I know when to raise the flame to draw out the dross, and when to lower it so you will not crack. Every blow I allow has a rhythm. Every strike has the purpose of shaping. When I strike, it is not punishment. It is the shaping cadence of grace. My furnace does not only burn away the old, it forges the new. In the fire you will learn to trust me, not because I give what you want, but because I am the one you need. You will learn to pray not only to escape, but to understand. You will discover that faith is not only believing once you have been rescued, but believing while still in the flames. When you choose to praise in the fire, that is when I see the likeness of my Son in you, the one who chose obedience, even under the weight of the cross. There will be nights when you weep. There will be moments you want to give up. There will be hours when I feel far away. Yet, my child, those are the times I am nearer than ever. I stand in the midst of the fire, my eyes never leaving you. I do not abandon a work being forged midway. I turn you in the heat so that every facet of your life is refined. I wrap you with merciful hands so you will not shatter as the pressure rises. I see the first spark flashing in your soul and I smile, for I know you are being transformed. When the flames rise, remember that I have chosen you. Those I do not intend for greater work I do not lead through deeper fire. But you, I have chosen you. You asked to be strong, and I answered with fire, for only fire makes strength. You asked to be holy, and I answer with fire, for only fire burns away hidden sin. You asked to know me more deeply, and I answered with fire, for only in the fire do you see how near I am. I cannot place glory upon you if you refuse the furnace of grace. And when you pass through the fire, you will not emerge as the one who entered. Fear will dissolve, doubt will burn away, and burdens will vanish. Your eyes will carry the light of one who has seen me in the flames. You will say to weary souls, I have been through the fire, and God is still good. You will bear the fragrance of the rescued, and the enemy will know that I have touched you. Let the fire do its work. Do not ask me to pull you out too soon. Ask me to make you stand firm within it. Do not ask when it will end. Ask what I desire to complete in you. For when the fire is finished, a new person will stand, no longer bound by fear, no longer ruled by pain, no longer limited by the past. You will step out carrying the strength of humility, the wisdom of trial, and the radiance of glory. Like gold in the craftsman's hand, you will reflect my image. This is the purpose of every flame, not to make you different, but to make you more like me. When I see myself in you, I know the fire has done its work. Then I will say, enough, now come out. And you will leave the furnace, bearing a light no wind can extinguish. Do not fear the fire, for the fire is the sign that I am near. Stand still, believe, and let me finish my work. For beyond the flames, glory will appear, and you will know that all today's pain was only the prelude to the eternal work I am writing upon your life. My beloved, after the fire has passed, what remains is not ash but a sacred quiet, the kind of stillness that carries not the taste of fear but of deep peace. The world may call it emptiness, but in my eyes it is the beginning of abundance. Only when your own voice is gone can you hear my heartbeat within you. Only when all the inner clamor is hushed can you discern the Spirit's voice that has long been veiled by 1,000 sounds. I lead you into silence not to confine you, but to transform you. You once thought transformation arrived through grand moments, miracles, and the thrill of encounters with power. Not so, my child. True transformation happens in the quiet. It is like sunlight melting ice without a sound, like a seed splitting open in the earth where no one hears. Silence is where I engrave my image deep into your soul. In silence, the unnecessary falls away. In silence, the eternal is formed. Do not fear the emptiness you now feel. It is not my absence. It is a room made for me. You have passed through the fire, and now I am filling you. But I do not pour into disorder. I pour only where things have been cleared. Let silence do its work, for in the quiet I am laying a new foundation. Every tear you have shed has become the mortar for the temple I am building within you. You are no longer who you were. Though you may not yet see it clearly, heaven has already recorded a new seal upon your soul. My beloved child, in this stillness I am teaching you the language of eternity. It is not the language of worry nor of fear, but of rest. I want you to understand that rest is not the end of work. It is working in my rhythm. I do not need you to strain to prove your faithfulness. I need you only to be in step. Let your soul move in harmony with me, neither fast nor slow, neither hurried nor delayed. As a river does not need to be pushed to flow, you do not need to force fruit to appear. When you remain in me, fruit is the natural result. Stillness is where I heal, not by loud miracles, but by gentle presence. I touch the deepest wounds, the scars you have hidden beneath a practiced strength. I know you have been betrayed. I know you once placed your trust in the wrong hands. I know the words, the glances, the actions that pierced you so deeply, you felt a part of you had died inside. But my child, I do not allow anything in you to die without resurrection. In the quiet, I am calling life back. Let me breathe life into the places you thought were lost. I am restoring your faith, not the kind that believes to get something, but the kind that believes because I am worthy of trust. I am restoring love within you, not romantic or merely emotional love, but love that sacrifices, endures, and perseveres. This love does not change when feelings change, nor waver when prayers seem unanswered. It is this love that will keep you standing through the seasons ahead. Beloved, recognize that stillness is my throne within your soul. When you cease resisting, I reign. When you stop complaining, I act. When you fall silent, I begin to speak. Stillness does not make you weaker. It makes you sharper. It helps you distinguish my voice from the voice of fear. It helps you see what truly matters and what is only passing. I am making you spiritually discerning, so you will not be deceived by things that only look true but have no spirit. You will find in this stillness that I will lead you where you have never been, not in geography but in the depth of your soul. You will realize I do not only want you to know my will, I want you to carry my mind. This means you will view circumstances not with human eyes but with an eternal perspective. Trials will no longer be enemies but instruments. You will look upon those who hurt you, not with bitterness, but with mercy. For once you have seen me in the fire, you will no longer fear the fire. Once you have seen me in the silence, you will no longer fear seeming absence. Once you have seen me in pain, you will no longer fear loss. I am transforming you from a petitioner into a partner with heaven. I do not only want you to wait, I want you to understand the purpose of waiting. Stillness teaches you how to move in authority without noise. You will learn that strength is not in shouting, but in knowing when to be quiet. Even my only son standing before Pilate chose silence. He did not need to defend himself, for truth needs no defense. Likewise, as I transform you, I teach you the power of quiet, the kind of strength that confounds the enemy and sets heaven in motion. In this stillness, I will give you a new vision. You will begin to notice what you once overlooked, a small sign, a gentle breeze, a whisper you used to dismiss as random. You will realize nothing is small in my hands. Everything I permit carries a message. Even the long pauses you thought were useless are the rests in the composition I am writing for your life. And when the next measure begins, you will find the melody fuller, deeper, and more radiant, because it is the silence that gives meaning to the sound. This is the hour of reshaping. Do not be eager to step out. Do not rush to fill the space with activity. Let me complete the process. For only when you are perfected in stillness can you be sent in power. The one who has never learned silence cannot keep strength. The one who has not been healed cannot heal others. You are in the middle space of a miracle. The seed is sown but not yet sprouted. The ground is quiet, yet life is moving beneath. Do not be impatient. Everything is alive. It is simply alive in silence. When the time comes, I will awaken the wind again. I will call you out of hiding, not as one who barely escaped, but as an instrument made whole. Your eyes will be different. Your voice will be different. The way you love, pray, and see the world, everything will be different. You will carry the fragrance of peace, and whoever touches you will sense my presence. Be still, and know that I am God. I am working even when you cannot see it. Abide in me that I may finish my work for you. For it is in this very stillness that I am forming what is eternal, a new person, bearing the imprint of my glory. My child, I must speak what your soul needs to hear, not merely what your ears want to hear. You are entering a battle, unlike any, before an unseen battle, where the enemy carries not swords and spears, but thoughts, emotions, and doubts. This is the battlefield of the Spirit, where promises are tested and faith is measured. You have been refined by fire and forged in silence. Now I permit the winds of war to rise to reveal the true strength within you. You once believed your battle was out there in circumstances, in people, and lack in the upheavals you could see. But my child, the enemy cares little for your circumstances. He aims at your faith. If he can topple your faith, he needs to touch nothing else. A weary spirit will lose its strength even without an outward blow. Therefore, the true battle is not around you, but within you. Understand this: the enemy does not fear those who know my word. He fears those who live it. He does not fear ritual prayers. He fears souls who pray from the depths of desperation and still believe I hear. He does not fear those who sing when life is easy. He fears those who sing in the night. These, my child, are the unseen warriors of my kingdom. They need no iron weapon for my word. On their lips is a sharp sword that cleaves the darkness, and I am training you to be one of them. When the battle begins, the enemy will not strike you with what is obvious. He will come as a whisper, "Where is God?" Perhaps he doesn't hear. Perhaps you've lost your way. Perhaps what you believe is only imagination. He will sow doubt, for he knows doubt kills faith faster than any weapon. He will try to make you fix your eyes on circumstances instead of on me. He will distract you, for he cannot take your authority, but he can make you forget you have it. Do not fall for that scheme, my child. When lies resound in your mind, answer, not with fear, but with my word. Remember when my only son was in the wilderness, the enemy also came with sweet, seemingly reasonable words. Yet he answered, "It is written," Matthew 4:4. You do not need to argue with the dark. You need only to shine. Do not echo the lie. Speak the truth. When your mind says you are alone, declare, "I will never leave you nor forsake you." When fear says you will fail, reply, "I can do all things through the one who gives me strength." When old sins come to remind you of your past, say, "I am a new creation in Christ." My child, every battle is won by the spoken word, not by human strength. But for the spoken word to carry power, it must flow from a soul anchored in me. Not everyone can speak the word and see it come to pass. One who has only the letters without the spirit will utter empty sounds. But the one who carries the word in their very bloodstream sets heaven in motion. You have been trained for this hour. The long nights you wept, the silences that made you want to give up, none of it was wasted. They forged depth in you so that now when you speak, your words are no longer light as wind but heavy as rain on dry ground. This battle will not unfold with noise. It will arrive in small moments when you wake and feel meaningless, when you pray and hear no reply, when you do what is right and are misunderstood. Precisely in those moments, the invisible war rages the fiercest. Do not measure the intensity of battle by outward clamor, but by the weight within your spirit. When your heart feels heavy, know that something is shifting in the realm of the Spirit. Do not forget I have given you the weapons of my kingdom, and not one of them is weak. Prayer is a sword, praise a shield, faith, a breastplate, righteousness, a helmet, mercy, a hidden weapon, and love, the flame that consumes every scheme of darkness. When you forgive, you disarm the enemy. When you praise in pain, you deafen him. When you love instead of resent, you pierce his heart. My child, remember, every small act of obedience is a strike against the dark. There will be days when it seems everything is against you, family who do not understand, friends who feel distant, prayers that seem dry. You will want to let go. But my child, that is the sign the battle is approaching its peak. The enemy always attacks hardest before he loses. When you feel you can hardly endure, the light is about to break. Stand firm a little longer. Pray one more prayer. Keep singing, even when your lips tremble. For it is not your song that topples the darkness, but your faithfulness while you sing. I have placed within you the strength of steadfastness, the kind of strength that moves heaven and makes hell tremble. It does not come from perfection, but from not giving up. You need not be the strongest. You need only be the one who keeps returning. Each time you fall and rise, the enemy loses more ground. Each time you say, I still believe, through tears, heaven rejoices. I chose you not because you would always be strong, but because I knew you would not leave me, even when the world shifts. Look back at my fingerprints over your life. What you thought were failures were the places where I laid foundations. When you believed you were sidelined, I was hiding you to teach you strategy. As David was trained in the fields before facing Goliath, so I trained you in the secret place. Every time you faced the lion, the bear, the fear, that was me instructing you. Now when you hear Goliath's roar, do not tremble. Remember, the sword I gave you is one you already know how to wield. This invisible battle is not merely for you to survive, it is for you to awaken. I am calling your soul to rise. You are no longer one who only begs me to act. You are one who acts with me. When you pray, the heavens move. When you declare, sound waves ride the air and shatter unseen chains. When you walk by faith, the ground beneath your feet is consecrated. Do not consider yourself small. I have placed in you the authority of my kingdom. The enemy knows it. Therefore he fears you more than you fear him. But do not let pride slip in. The strength you carry does not come from you. It comes from abiding in me. Remember, when you leave the stream, you dry up. When you remain in the flow, you stay fresh. Guard your heart in humility. Do not argue with the world. Fight in the secret place. Do not strive to prove yourself. Let fruit speak. Let your peace be the testimony that I dwell in you. Do not forget, this battle has been decreed victorious. The blood of the Lamb sealed the outcome before it began. You do not fight for victory. You fight from victory. You are not begging for light to arrive. The light is within you. Your task is to keep it burning. When you fall, do not be ashamed. When you are tired, do not be afraid. When you feel weak, do not imagine I am disappointed. It is in weakness that my strength is made perfect. This battle is unseen, but its results will be visible in your life. You will see my promises fulfilled. You will walk in a freedom no one can steal. You will carry my light into places it has never shown. And you will know that every fire, every silence, every tear was not in vain, for they prepared you for this hour, the hour you stand as a warrior of the kingdom whose faith is unmoved by darkness, because you know I am still here. Beloved child, in the unseen realm there are hours when every sign seems to vanish. No miracles, no words of encouragement, no ray of light piercing the thick clouds. Only darkness and silence remain. That is the moment when the enemy mocks you, saying you believed in something empty. But remember, this true faith is born precisely in that darkness. Light does not require faith to be seen. Darkness is the soil where faith germinates. When everything around you seems to resist you, your soul is being invited to believe not with your eyes but by the Spirit. You once thought faith was the surge of feeling during prayer, the flood of tears in worship, the blazing flame in moments of revelation. But no, my child, faith is not emotion. Faith is the steadiness of the soul even when feelings have cooled, lips are parched, and the heart tightens. Faith does not need light to exist. It glows on its own in the night. Like the hidden fire that smolders beneath the earth, faith burns even when no one believes it's still there. And when the darkness is thickest, true faith rises like a seed, breaking through hard soil to reach the sunday. The darkness you are walking through is not punishment. It is the training ground of faith. It is designed not to make you fall, but to make you stronger. Like Joseph confined in prison before wearing a crown like David, hiding in caves before sitting on a throne like Job on his ash heap, before seeing double glory, you too are in the middle chapter of your story. Do not call the middle chapter the end. Do not let the temporary define the eternal. You are in a process. I began, and I never stop halfway. When darkness closes in, remember I am still speaking, only in a different language. No longer a thundering voice, but a quiet stirring within. When a fragile hope rises and you cannot explain why, that is my voice. When you want to keep going, though, you see no reason, that is my hand upholding you. When you pray, and only tears come, I am counting every one. Each time you breathe out, I still believe all of heaven rejoices, because your faith in the dark shines brighter than any song in the light. The enemy fears this. He fears souls who do not need to see in order to trust. He fears people who keep walking even when they do not hear. Such ones have slipped beyond his control. He governs by fear, but one who has learned to believe in the dark is no longer bound by fear. And that is you, my child, the one I am shaping to walk not by sight but by faith. You say, Lord, I can't see the way. And I say, that's all right, I see. You say, I have no strength left. I answer, my grace is sufficient for you. You say, I can't bear this any longer. I whisper, you don't have to bear it, lean on me. You do not need to know everything. You need to know who I am. When you know me, you do not need to know the outcome. When you take my hand, you do not need to see the path. When you trust my nature, you no longer fear your circumstances. True faith is not measured by words, but by faithfulness when no one is watching. When you keep praying in a dark room, keep worshiping with a hurting heart, keep choosing forgiveness, when you have every right to resent, that is when faith is growing. It is quiet and needs no recognition, yet heaven records every moment. Each small act in the dark is a brick building, a kingdom within you. And when you least expect it, I will open the door that your faith has been constructing. Faith is not only for getting through trials, faith is for seeing me in them. If you believe only to escape, you may miss the wonder hidden in the journey. But if you believe to know me, you will discover that I myself am the reward. As you walk with me, I do not merely bring you to a destination, I make you into the very promise. You will become one who carries light to others, because that light will no longer come from outside you. It will shine from within, from faith that has been tested and proven. When you believe, though only a faint spark remains, do not despise that spark. It is enough to reignite the torch. As a mustard seed can move mountains, a small faith can change a destiny. I do not look for the perfect. I look for those who still grasp my hand, even while trembling. I do not need you strong every day. I ask only that you do not let go of me on your weakest day. For I am the one who holds you, not you who hold me. When you think you are about to fall, I am the one lifting you. When you think you have lost everything, I am preparing something new. When you think you are lost, I am turning you back to the right way. Faith does not avoid testing. Faith matures through it. As muscles strengthen under pressure, so the soul grows strong under fire. I do not send you into battle to watch you fail, but so you may discover what I have placed within you. You will learn that true strength is not in never falling, but in rising again. Your falling does not disappoint me. Only giving up will lead you away from my will, and I know you will not give up because I have planted in you a seed of perseverance, a seed hell itself cannot uproot. Faith does not rise in the sound of thunder, but in the whisper of the soul that says, I'm still here. Faith rises when you wipe your tears and take one more step. When you say, even so, I still believe heaven bows in silence, for that is the most beautiful sound to me. You do not need to shout. Even when you exhale in faith, I hear you. I have said in Isaiah 30:15 inches, returning and rest, you shall be saved. In quietness and trust shall be your strength. My child, that is the secret of faith. It is not loud, yet it endures. It is not boastful, yet it conquers. As you walk through this season, you will discover that darkness is no longer something to fear, for it has become your companion on the journey of faith. You will walk not only in the light of day, but in the inner light, the light that comes from knowing that I am with you. And you will see that what once made you tremble will become your greatest testimony. I was in the dark, but the Lord was there. I fell, but he lifted me up. I lost, but he recovered. My beloved child, stand up. You don't need to wait for dawn. Right in the middle of the night, lift your hands and declare, I believe, for that declaration uttered in the unseen is the flame that makes the night retreat. I am here in the invisible battle in the place you thought was empty. I am breathing new life into your faith. Breathe deeply, my child, for the wind I am sending will not only awaken your faith, but ignite the souls who look to you for hope. Beloved, there are moments when your soul can no longer endure the silence or submit to the darkness. A roar begins to rise, not one of fear, but of awakening. It is the sound of your soul realizing I was not born to be defeated. That roar does not come from the flesh, but from my spirit within you. It is the echo of the divine essence I placed in you since the beginning of time. When your soul is pressed to the edge, when there is nowhere left to hide, but in me, that is when your true nature awakens. This roar is not loud. It may sound through tears, through breaths, through the quiet beat of a heart still alive. It is the sound of one who has endured the long night and still chooses to believe that morning will come. It is the sound of one who has faced fire, loss, and loneliness, yet refuses to let faith die. It is the roar of a soul that has learned that true strength is not found in control but in surrender. When you kneel down in tears and still say, your will be done, heaven hears that roar and hell trembles. I have placed within you a royal spiritual bloodline. You are not an abandoned child. You are an heir of the kingdom. That bloodline means you cannot live small or surrender to circumstance. Even when you are pushed to the wall, my spirit within you still whispers, rise. And every time you obey that call, hell loses ground. That roar is not to defy people, but to remind your soul who its king is. When you proclaim my name in the darkness, you activate the power I have woven into your very being. There will be those who do not understand your roar. They will call it rebellion, madness, or extremity. But I know that sound because I am the one who placed it in you. It is the sound of a soul once strangled by fear, but now liberated by perfect love that drives out all fear. It is the voice of one who was once wounded, but now knows that scars are not marks of shame, they are marks of victory. When you roar in the night, you are not losing control. You are reclaiming the territory of your spirit. Remember, the Lion of the tribe of Judah has overcome, and in him you share the same nature. You are not a fugitive, you are a warrior of light. I did not create you to live in fear, but to reign in love. Not to dominate others, but to rule over fear, sin, and the darkness within. When you say no to temptation, that is victory. When you choose love over hate, that is victory. When you choose prayer over complaint, that is victory. Every small act of obedience is a roar in the spiritual realm, silent to human ears but shaking the heavens. I know you are tired. I see you trembling. But understand this, your weariness is not weakness. It is proof that you are fighting. No one grows weary by standing still. Only those in the battlefield know exhaustion. But do not be afraid, for I am your strength. When you can no longer roar, I will roar through you. When your lips can no longer speak, my spirit will declare through you. Let your final breath still resound as a proclamation, my God still reigns. My child, your roar is not only for this battle, it is the sound of a new season. Every time you proclaim my name, you open the door for the new to enter. When you praise me in the fire, that fire shifts from consuming to illuminating. When you worship through pain, your pain becomes oil for anointing. When you stand firm in the storm becomes the vessel that carries you to the place I have prepared. My child, here is the mystery. No storm can drown the one who knows how to roar by faith. I remember Jonah in the belly of the fish. He had no light, no way out, only darkness and the stench of death. But there he prayed, and from the depths his cry reached heaven. The fish had to release him, the darkness had to surrender. So it is with you, my child. When your soul roars in faith, every force trying to swallow you must release you. No chain can bind a soul that knows how to worship. No prison can hold a heart that still sings praises through the shackles. The roar of your awakened soul does more than shatter your own chains, it sets others free. When you rise from the ashes, your light becomes a beacon for wandering hearts. When you say, I've been there, they will believe that I can rescue them too. So do not be ashamed of your scars. They are proof that you have survived. Do not hide your tears. They are evidence that you have loved, believed, and endured. Let every chapter of your story become a song of victory. When your soul awakens, you will see the world through different eyes. You will realize that the things which once terrified you are now just passing winds. You will no longer rush to prove anything, because you know that I am the one who vindicates you. You will no longer crave human approval, because you have already been affirmed by me. You will walk not out of fear of losing, but from the certainty of having already won. And when you speak, your words will carry the weight of heaven, for they will no longer be merely your words, but mine within you. Let that roar sound, not through your speech, but through your living. Every step of faith is an echo in eternity. Every act of love is a declaration that I still reign. Let your life become the song of one who has awakened, one who was once fearful but now brave, once weak but now strong, once lost but now found. And my child, when your roar joins the countless others in my kingdom, a spiritual symphony, will resound the sound that terrifies hell and delights heaven. It is the anthem announcing the rising of a generation restored, refined, and sent forth. You are part of that generation. Be silent no more. Let your soul roar, not to prove, but to glorify the one who raised you from the ashes. My child, now that the darkness has retreated and the roar of your soul has reached the heavens, I proclaim this over you. The dawn has come. Not the light of this world, but the light from within. The light born from a soul refined by fire, cleansed by tears, and awakened in the long night. You are no longer who you were yesterday. You have been reborn not merely through faith, but through the deep knowing that I am the one who never left you, even when you thought you were lost. The sun is rising, but this light is different. It does not only illuminate your path, it illuminates your heart. In this light, you will see clearly all that I have done, every season of sorrow, every trial, every tear, woven together into a mysterious tapestry of grace. What you once thought was random, you now understand was arranged. What you once resented, you now recognize as what drew you back to me. Every loss was not an ending, but a key that opened a new door. Dawn is more than the start of a day. It is the sign of a renewed life. Where you once walked on trembling feet, Now you will soar with strong wings. For in the darkness I taught you to fly, not by strength, but by the wind of my spirit. And now that light shines upon you, you will no longer fear the heights. You will see that every opposing wind that once struck you was in fact lifting you higher. For those who know how to fly do not fear the wind, they know how to ride it. I led you through the night not to test you, but to shape you into the bearer of dawn. You will be the one who stands upon the mountain and declares that the light has come. You will not speak empty words, but the truth written by your own life. When you say, "The Lord is still good," the world will believe it, because they will have seen you walk through fire and not be burned through water, and not be drowned through trial, and not lose your faith. I have chosen you to be a sign of the new season, a living testimony of my power to restore. I know you are weary from the long journey, but let me tell you this: your weariness is holy. It is not the exhaustion of defeat, but the fatigue of one who has overcome. Like a warrior after battle, you will sit not to surrender, but to rest in victory. And there I will come close, wipe the sweat from your brow, and say, "Well done, my faithful one." Do not think the reward is only what I give later. The reward is me here now within you and beside you. Look back at the path you have walked. The fire has ceased, the storm is still, the tears have dried. But do you see it? What remains is light, and this light does not come from the sun, it comes from within you. For through it all, I have not only taught you to believe, but to reflect me. When you forgive, you shine. When you love despite pain, you shine. When you stand firm through betrayal, you shine. And that very light will guide many who still wander in the night back to the true light. Now is the time to rise from the ashes. I did not call you merely to survive, I called you to bloom. Rise from the ruins, for I have planted new seeds in that very soil. Your pain has become the earth, your tears, the rain, and your prayers, the sunlight. And now the harvest has come. You need not search for a miracle. You are the miracle that heaven has been nurturing in silence. As you walk, you will carry the fragrance of life, and whoever touches you will encounter me. Do not let old memories pull you back. The former season has passed, and I have sealed it with grace. Do not reach for what I have declared finished. Do not carry the burdens I have already lifted. Do not look behind you, for I am opening the way before you, a path the enemy cannot walk, a road reserved for those washed by tears and renewed by fire. Walk forward with courage, for what lies ahead is no longer trial but glory revealed. I am placing in your hands the seed of a new harvest. But remember that seed was never meant to be kept, it was meant to be sown. Everything you have learned, every miracle you have witnessed, every victory you have gained, they were never just for you. Sow them into the lives of others. Speak of me not as a story from long ago, but as the living breath that moves within you. When you share, you multiply the harvest. When you love, you expand the kingdom. When you pray for others, you are planting in the field I have entrusted to you. This dawn is not merely a reward, it is a commission. I have not only raised you up, I am sending you out. You will not return the same. Even your footsteps will carry the imprint of grace. You will speak my words, and the places where your feet tread will change. For when I am within you, the space around you is transformed. You will bring healing where there is pain, peace where there is chaos, and hope where there is despair. This is the season in which you are sent forth as my light. My child, do not fear your own light. Do not hide it out of fear of being seen. Light was never made to conceal itself. I have ignited you to shine. But remember, light does not boast, it simply shines. When you live in love, your light will do its work on its own. You do not need to shout, argue, or prove. Let your life be the evidence that I live within you. When you speak, I will add my words. When you act, I will add my power. When you pray, I will add my signs. Enjoy this morning of grace. Breathe deeply in the peace I give, the peace that surpasses all understanding. Let the sunlight warm the heart that was once cold. Let my wind carry away your old worries. And as you stand in this light, remember, this is only the beginning of a greater glory. For this light will grow stronger, brighter, and more radiant as you continue to walk with me. I have declared, arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. Isaiah 6:01. My child, the dawn has called your name. Respond with your whole soul, for I am preparing to lead you into the harvest heaven has already ordained. My beloved, when I brought you out of the darkness, I did not call you into the light merely to rest, but to act within it. For true light does not only reveal, it bears fruit. This is the season of harvest, not just of blessing, but of sacred responsibility. Everything you learned in the darkness must now become seed to sow. The grace I give never stands still. It moves, multiplies, and seeks other souls to touch. Understand this, no one is saved just to enjoy grace. You are saved to become a carrier of grace. Every wound I have healed in you is now a doorway through which you can bring healing to others. Every place you once fell is now the ground where I will use you to lift others up. You once wept in the fire. Now you will wipe the tears of those still burning. You once trembled in the night. Now you will be a lantern for those who fear. You cannot speak of light without having known darkness, nor lead anyone to freedom without having once been bound. This is the season when old tears will bloom. I have gathered every tear you have shed, not one was wasted. Each drop fell to the ground like a seed, and now it is bringing forth the fruit of compassion. You will see that the very places where you were broken will become the most fertile fields of grace. The very places where you were rejected will overflow with love. The very places where you fell will become the sites where others are rescued. Therefore, do not erase the memory of your pain. Let it become the song of your restoration. The harvest is not a time to wait, but a time to act under the guidance of the Holy Spirit. Do not strive in your own strength. Let me direct your steps. There are souls waiting to hear your voice, not the voice of knowledge, but the voice of one who has been redeemed. They do not need arguments. They need witnesses. They will not be convinced by eloquent words, but by the light upon your face. When you speak of me, you do not need to shout. Simply let the truth flow from a heart that has been touched. Be watchful as you step into this harvest season, for along with blessing comes subtle distraction. The enemy knows he cannot steal salvation, so he will try to steal focus. He will make you busy doing instead of being, busy serving instead of connecting, busy performing instead of worshiping. But my child, remember, roots matter more than fruit. If you do not remain deeply rooted in me, your fruit will wither. Let every action, every plan, every step flow from your abiding in me. Remember this, I do not give a harvest for boasting, but for sharing. I do not give authority for ruling, but for serving. The taller the tree grows, the deeper its roots must go. The higher one is lifted, the lower one must bow. This is the law of the kingdom. Whoever wants to be great must learn to be a servant. When you go forth in grace, go clothed in humility. Do not think of yourself as the source. You are only the vessel. The river flowing through you is not yours, but I have chosen you because you allowed me to cleanse your heart. This harvest will not resemble those you have seen before. It will not come with a mighty wind, but with a profound peace. It will not arrive through noise, but through small, obedient steps. When you pray for others, the harvest will open. When you forgive, it will take root. When you choose love over judgment, your field will bloom. Do not look for great signs. Look for the quiet miracles of changed hearts. I am working not on the grand stage, but in the hidden rooms where you speak kindly, where you wait patiently, where you choose love without expecting it in return. Do not let the joy of harvest make you forget the one who gave the seed. Many, when blessings come, forget where they began. They forget the days they once wept the prayers. They once whispered the grace that once pulled them from the pit. Do not let that be you. Keep your heart as tender as it was in the beginning. Each time you witness a miracle, bow in gratitude. Each time you see fruit, remind your soul, it was not me, it was Him. When you guard that posture of heart, blessing will never depart from your home. I give you much because I know you will use it well. But remember, blessings are meant to be shared, not stored. If you keep them, they will decay. If you give them, they will multiply. When you pour out, I will pour in. When you share, I will enlarge. Do not fear lack, for my storehouse never runs dry. Keep sowing, keep loving, keep helping, even when no one sees. Heaven records every quiet act of love. Each time you choose to love without return, you shake the heavens. Each time you forgive, you make the enemy tremble. For grace operates most powerfully in the small and hidden things. My beloved child, the harvest is not an ending but the beginning of a new commission. I am opening doors you once feared to knock on. New spiritual territories await your steps. But to enter them, you must carry a heart refined by fire, not pride. I will place you before those who need to see me through you. They do not need another sermon, they need a heart that has met God. And you, my child, are that heart. This is the time for faith to move. Faith is no longer a feeling but an action. Go where I send you. Speak when I lead. Be still when I am silent. Let your very presence bring the atmosphere of heaven wherever you go. When you enter a room, peace will follow. When you touch, the weary hope will breathe again. When you pray, the air around you will shift. Not because you are powerful, but because I live within you. This harvest is not just a reward, it is a new covenant between me and you. You will no longer live merely to be blessed, but to become a blessing. I will make you like a spring that never runs dry, like a tree planted by streams of water, green even in drought. Everything you do in my name will bear fruit beyond imagination. But remember this, what I desire most is not your fruit, but your love, the same love that bound us from the beginning. Lift your eyes and look, the fields are golden and ready. This is the hour to act. Do not fear lack, for I am your source. Do not fear failure, for I am your strength. Do not fear loneliness, for I am your companion. Walk with joy, sow with tears, and reap with singing. For I, the Lord your God, walk beside you into the harvest of grace, where every old thing is made new, every buried dream blooms again, and every promise is fulfilled in my glory. My child, when I led you through darkness, through fire, through silence, through unseen battles, it was not only to rescue you, but to make you a living testimony. Now that you have been restored, now that your light burns steady and strong, I want you to understand this light is not meant to be kept, but to become a legacy. For no one is lit to shine for themselves. Those who are lit are meant to ignite others. You are a torch in my hand, and through your flame many other lights will be kindled. A transformed life does not end in salvation. It begins in radiance. Everything I have done in you, every lesson, every wound, every victory, serves a purpose beyond you. It was written to become a spiritual inheritance for those who come after. Do you know why I allowed you to walk through what seemed unbearable? Because those experiences will become breath for weary souls. There are hearts that will find hope only when they hear your story. There are souls on the edge of surrender who will rise when they see you still standing. So do not hide your light, let it shine as a testimony of the kingdom. True legacy is not found in wealth, fame, or achievement, but in the imprints you leave on human hearts. When you love, you plant a seed. When you forgive, you open a door for grace. When you teach another to believe, you hand them the key to eternity. This is a legacy that neither rust nor time can steal. My child, the light I placed in you will keep shining long after your final breath, for it is the light of my own spirit. Remember Abraham, who believed without seeing, and his faith became the inheritance of nations. Remember Moses, who obeyed though he never entered the promised land, but his obedience opened the way for an entire people. Remember Mary, who said, "Let your will be done," and through her surrender, salvation came to the world. My child, like them, you are writing a chapter in the eternal covenant. No one is called only to receive. All who are called are chosen to carry the light. And now you bear that calling. Light does not strive to be seen. It simply must be placed rightly. You do not need to prove your transformation. Just live authentically in what I have done. When you walk into the dark, I will take care of the rest. The light in you will shine on its own, and the darkness will flee. Do not fear if the world does not understand you. Your mission is not to be understood, but to shine. When you choose love where others choose hate, silence where others argue, prayer where others condemn, that is when your light becomes your most powerful and eternal legacy. My beloved, the enemy cannot take what I have given, but he will try to make you too busy to shine. He will exhaust you with good things so that you forget the right things. He will tempt you to chase applause so that you lose focus. But remember, light does not need applause to exist, it only needs its source. As long as you remain in me, no force can extinguish your flame. Pass the fire to your children, your students, the souls you meet along the way. Not with theory, but with a transformed life. When you tell your story, do not leave out the tears, for they testify that I was there. When you speak of grace, do not hide your scars, for they reveal that you were healed. And when you speak of me, do not limit it to great miracles, tell of the small ones too, for in them others will find me nearer than they ever imagined. Understand, this legacy is not what you leave when you die, but what you sow while you live. Every kind word, every act of love, every prayer you offer for another, these are the seeds of eternity. I will make them grow beyond your sight. You may never see the results on earth, but heaven will show you that a soul was saved because of one small act of yours. My child, that is the highest reward of light. It continues to shine long after you are gone. Your light does not belong to you. It belongs to me, and I will multiply it through your life. You will see the next generation carry the spark you passed on. They will say, I know God is real because I saw him in that person's life. And in that moment, even if you speak no word, your light will still preach. For true light needs no voice, it tells the story on its own. I have chosen you not merely to shine, but to become the inheritance of light. You are the bridge between generations, the living proof that I still move, still heal, still restore, still save. When others look at you, they will understand that I am not just a story in Scripture, but the God who still speaks, still breathes, and still dwells among humankind. You are my living letter, written not with ink, but with the Spirit of the living God. Continue to shine, not so that you may be seen, but so that others may see me. Live each day as though you are leaving heavenly footprints upon the earth. Let your words be living water to the thirsty, your smile a light to the weary, and your very presence a testimony that God is still with his people. Your light is a candle in my hand, and I will use it to set the forest ablaze. Do not fear if you feel small, just burn truly, and I will breathe upon you until your flame becomes a fire. And when your light touches another soul, it will ignite theirs, and they will pass it on until the whole earth is covered with the radiance of my glory. My beloved, I want to lead you deeper, not into a new outward place, but into the dwelling of my presence within you. For I do not dwell in temples made by human hands, nor abide within walls of stone. The place I choose is a heart that knows how to worship. Every time you long for me, I am building my home within you. Every prayer, every tear, every hidden act of love, all are sacred bricks in the living temple where my spirit abides. Once I walked in the Garden of Eden among the cool breeze and the sound of peace. Then I was at one with humanity, in perfect harmony. But sin made humanity hide from my presence, and since then people have tried to rebuild a place for me to dwell. They built temples of gold and marble, but I was never after that. I seek a tender heart, a place where I can speak without barrier, a soul willing to breathe with me. My child, you are that place. Eden has been reborn within you. I do not come to visit, I come to stay. But for me to dwell, the house must be cleansed. There are corners of your heart you still keep for yourself, worries, wounds, ambitions, fears unspoken. I knock not to condemn, but to help you tidy the rooms. Let me enter even the darkest chambers of your soul. I am not afraid of your shadows, for my light is strong enough to fill every corner. When you invite me in, chains fall, wounds heal, and every emptiness becomes filled with the fullness of my living presence. There are many who search for me in rituals, in music, in long prayers, but I want you to know something deeper. I am within the rhythm of your ordinary breath. When you wash the dishes, when you work, when you walk, if your heart turns toward me, you are already worshiping. It is not the place that brings my presence, it is awareness of me. When you know that I dwell within you, you will no longer chase my presence, for you are the dwelling of my spirit. The house I build in you is unlike any house on earth. It is not built by effort, but by rest. Rest in faith. Each time you believe, a wall rises. Each time you obey, a roof is laid. Each time you love, a light is lit. This house cannot be destroyed or stolen, for it is made of my very essence. When you pray, I do not hear from afar. I answer from the center of your being. When you worship, I do not come from outside. I rise from within your soul. I am teaching you the art of presence, not of constant searching, but of being. Like a child who does not need to look for its father while sitting in his arms, you do not need to seek me when you already dwell in me. Sit still, my child. Let me cover you with silent peace. Let me heal without words. Some things I do not speak through sound, but through nearness. When you feel warmth you cannot explain, that is me. When tears fall but your heart feels lighter, that is me. When you sit in stillness and know you are not alone, that is me holding you. In this house you will learn to listen with your spirit, not your ears. I will speak through the wind, through light, through dreams, through the people you meet. But most of all, I will speak through you. When you are still, my voice will rise from within, like a gentle wave saying, I am here. Do not doubt it. Do not think you must become holy enough to hear me. I do not wait for your perfection before entering. I enter to make you whole. Let this house become a refuge for the world. When others come near you, they will feel a peace they cannot explain. They will see eyes that no longer judge but carry compassion. They will hear words no longer sharp but healing. They may not know it is me, but they will feel me through you. And in that moment, you are doing the greatest work of all, bringing me to the world. The house of my presence is not only a refuge, it is a living altar. There you and I renew our covenant daily, not with ink or paper, but with unity and love. Every breath you inhale is my breath. Every word you speak carries my blessing. When you pray, I hear. When you are silent, I still listen. There is no distance between us, for the veil has been torn. The cross opened the way for me to dwell in you forever. Keep the lamp in this house burning. Feed it with oil of gratitude, worship, and thanksgiving in all things. When winds of doubt blow, add oil of faith. When darkness knocks, add oil of praise. For as long as your flame burns, true darkness cannot enter. My child, do not worry if your flame is small, as long as it is real. I will breathe upon it until it becomes a blazing fire. When you dwell in this house, fear loses its voice. Storms may roar, but you will not be shaken, for I am your foundation. Others may run for shelter, but you will rest in the peace of the Eternal One. And when you understand this, you will carry the atmosphere of that house wherever you go. Whether in the marketplace or the wilderness, at work or at rest, I am there. This house moves with you because I live within you. This is the new covenant between us, I and you and me. No more separation, no more distance, no more fear. You are my dwelling place of delight, and I am your home of rest. When you grasp this truth, everything in your life will shift. You will no longer search for peace. You will become peace. You will no longer beg for love. You will embody love. For where I am, there is everything you will ever need. My beloved child, as you journey deeper into this house of presence, you will see that I came not only to dwell, but to covenant. Not with ink or parchment, but with breath and living blood, things that cannot be forged, divided, or taken away. The new covenant between you and me is not written on stone tablets as before, but inscribed upon the tablet of your heart. And I myself have written it with unfading love, unchanging grace, and the crimson stream that flowed from the ancient cross. In this covenant I do not love you because you obey. It is because I love you that you are able to obey. I do not demand that you pay the price because I have already paid every price in your place. I do not stand far off to see whether you are worthy. I step into your ashes to make them the very place of glory. This covenant is not built on merit but on my eternal faithfulness. Even when you are weak, I still hold you. Even when you stray, I still seek you. Even when you fall, I still lift you up. For I cannot deny my own nature, love that never changes. Listen carefully, this covenant is not sustained by law but by the breath of my spirit in you. Every time you inhale, you are receiving the life of the covenant. Every time you exhale, you are releasing that life to the world. This covenant is not just a promise, it is a life flow running through your very veins. When you believe that blood flows stronger, when you worship it shines within your soul, and when you love even just one small soul, that blood beats in rhythm with mine. For I am not only your God, I am the life within you. The world once lived under the old covenant, the covenant of striving, of sacrifices, to prove oneself, of fear before judgment. But now I say, it is finished. When my blood was poured out, the door to union was opened. The old covenant required you to come to me through a mediator, but the new covenant brings me to you directly. No more need for a go-between, because I myself became the bridge. No more blood of lambs, because my blood has spoken a word sufficient for all ages. My child, stop wrestling to prove you are loved. Rest in what I have done, for my love does not come from what you do, but from who I am. This covenant does not promise you an easy life, but it does promise that I will never leave you. When you weep, I am there. When you are weak, I am there. When you feel useless, I still look at you and say, you are mine. For in this covenant, you no longer belong to darkness, but to the light that never fades. And whenever you stumble, remember you have not broken the covenant. You have only forgotten that it was established on my faithfulness, not yours. I did not write this covenant in conditions, but in the heartbeat of my own heart. Every beat within me whispers, you are forgiven, you are chosen, you are loved. When I was crucified, every drop of blood that fell to the ground did not only wash away your sin, it sowed a living covenant, a covenant of freedom. No more debt, no more condemnation, no more separation. When I said, it is finished, every burden you carried fell off. My child, do not live as if you are still bound. Do not let old memories make you forget that you have been set free. In this covenant, I did not only give you forgiveness, I gave you the right to be a child of the King. You were not only invited into my house, you were invited to my table, not as a guest, but as an heir. Every time you draw near to me in prayer, you do not come trembling, but as a child coming into the Father's arms. You have the right to inherit everything that is mine because I have given it to you in love. But my child, with privilege comes responsibility, the responsibility to live worthy of grace and to bear my image to the world. This covenant is not bound by time. It passes through generations, across borders, even beyond death. When you are weak, the covenant is still strong. When you are silent, the covenant still speaks. When you sleep, the covenant still lives. It is the holy bloodstream, uniting you and me, unbreakable by sin or fear. And whenever you remember the cross, remember, it is not only an old story, it is the blood flowing in you, now proving that I am still alive and still keeping my word. I know there are times you feel unworthy. You look at your flaws and think I must be disappointed. But hear me clearly, not a single sin can outrun my blood. You cannot make me love you less. My love does not rise and fall with your performance, because it is sealed by my very being. What I want is not perfection, but sincerity. When you come to me with a true heart, even broken, even trembling, I will never turn you away. For this covenant is not upheld by your hands, but by my pierced hands for you. This covenant is not only a promise of salvation, it is a living union. Every time you forgive, you are walking in the covenant. Every time you love someone unlovable, you are reflecting on me. Every time you choose faith over fear, you are keeping the flame of the covenant burning bright. For this covenant does not just sit in Scripture, it lives in your daily life. Let this covenant become the breath of your prayer, no longer I, but Christ in me. And when you say that I will answer, no more distance between us. In that moment, you will understand that this covenant not only changed your destiny, it changed your very nature. You will no longer live as a slave, but as one made free. You will no longer beg for love, but live from love. You will no longer fear the darkness, but shine right in the midst of it. Carry this covenant into the world, not just with words, but with your presence. When others look at you, they will sense a love they have never known. They will ask, "How can you be at peace in the storm?" And you will answer, "Because I am in the covenant." That is how you testify, not with theory, but with breath that carries the fragrance of eternity. My child, now that this covenant has been engraved deep in your soul, I invite you to step into the deeper level of oneness, where there is no longer a line between your prayer and my voice. Their peace is no longer an idea, but a river flowing through your spirit, soaking every breath, every heartbeat, every moment you live. This peace does not come from everything going well, but from knowing I am in everything. It does not seek to escape the storm, but rests in the storm. It does not demand answers, because my presence has become the answer. True peace is not the silence of circumstances, but the stillness of the soul. The world can offer you temporary safety, but only I can give you eternal rest. When you learn to remain in me, you will see that the storm is no longer an enemy. It becomes the song of faith. Every wind no longer makes you afraid, it reminds you that I am breathing new life. Every thunder is no longer a threat, it is the sound of heaven awakening your soul. When you are in me, nothing around you defines you. I alone define you. I do not call you to withdraw from the world, but to live in it without belonging to it. Like a fish in the sea that is not spoiled by salt, like a flower blooming in the desert, yet still fragrant, you will learn to keep peace in the noise, stillness in the chaos. For union with me does not remove you from reality. It gives you strength to enter it with an unshaken heart. You will work, but not worry. You will love, but not demand return. You will serve, but not need applause. And in that place you will taste the freedom of my Spirit, who testifies that nothing holds you anymore. Oneness is not a feeling, it is the holy identity of one reborn in my Spirit. It does not come from striving, but from abiding. Abide in me as I abide in you, I have said. Abiding does not mean sitting on a faraway mountain, it means living in awareness of my presence in every moment. When you work, I am there. When you speak, I am in your words. When you are silent, I still speak through the breath of peace. You do not need to call me to come, for I have never left. Just remain, and I will do the rest. Many pray for power, but few pray to abide. Yet true power is born only from abiding. The branch does not strain to bear fruit. It simply remains in the vine. And so it is with you, my child, abide in me, for I am the source of everything you seek. When you are in me, you no longer struggle to hold peace. Peace will hold you. When you are in me, you no longer strive to prove your worth. I will reveal your worth through your life itself. When you are in me, you do not have to fear being good enough, for my righteousness covers you like a spotless white garment. In this union, every barrier dissolves. Shame loses its voice. Sin loses its grip. Fear loses its control. For when I dwell in you, darkness cannot touch where my light reigns. There you will find a peace that cannot be shaken, even when the world trembles. You will hear me not through thunder, but through the whisper in the wind. You will sense me not through loud miracles, but through the holiness woven into ordinary moments by my presence. I know there are times you feel my silence, but that is when I speak most deeply through presence, not words. Just as breath makes no sound yet sustains life, my silence is not absence. It is breath surrounding you. When you feel empty, do not flee. Sit within the emptiness, for that is often where I appear most clearly. I do not come in noise, but in the soft exhale between your heartbeats. When you are still, I will be revealed. When you let go, I will overflow. When you stop searching, you will find me already within you. My child, the peace I give is not temporary. It cannot be stolen by circumstance or by man. It does not vanish in loss, for it does not come from what you have, but from whose you are. When you truly know that you are in me, you will no longer fear lack, for I am enough. You will no longer fear loneliness, for I am the ever-present one. You will no longer fear death, for I am eternal life within you. The world will look at you and not understand how you can be calm in the storm, how you can smile when everything falls apart, how you can forgive when you are hurt. But you will know it is the fruit of union. My peace in you is not for you alone, but to be poured out. When you walk into tension, the air will soften. When you speak, your words will carry the weight of heaven. When you touch a life, they will feel the warmth of my presence in you. And thus you will become a bearer of peace, a messenger of a kingdom not of this world. Understand this: abiding in me does not mean never falling, but always returning quickly. When you wander, just turn back. I have never left. When you are weak, simply breathe and say, Lord, I am in you, and instantly I will surround you. This union does not demand effort, only awareness. The more you are conscious of me, the more I reveal. The quieter you become, the louder I speak. The more you surrender, the greater I grow in you. And over time you will realize I am not only the one you worship, I am the one you are becoming like. My child, that is the ultimate purpose of the covenant, not merely that you be saved, but that you be transformed, that you would not only live for me, but live as me. When you forgive, I am living through you. When you love your enemies, I am stepping forth from within you. When you stay silent, instead of striking back, I am shining in the midst of the world. This is true glory, not to be exalted, but to be one with me. And I say to you, my child, remain in this peace, for it is where you belong. Let every worry melt in my presence. Let the noise fade until only my voice and yours remain blending like the heartbeat of two inseparable souls. When you live in this union, you will no longer search for the way, for I am the way. You will no longer seek the truth, for I am the truth. You will no longer hunger for life, for I am the life within you. My beloved, a new season is unfolding, a season of glory, where all that I have sown in the dark will now bloom in the light. Every pain you have endured, every fire you have walked through, every tear you have shed, none of it was wasted. They were the birth pangs of revival, the signs that a generation is rising. I am not only working in you, but through you to reveal my glory to a world desperate for true light. My child, prepare your heart, for the hour of anointing has come. I am calling the broken, the overlooked, the misunderstood, the outcast. It is they, the ones with nothing left to cling to, who will carry the fire of awakening. For I do not choose by reputation. I choose by the depth of surrender. I do not seek the skilled. I seek the willing. You are one of them. When you knelt in the loneliness of night, I saw you. When you kept believing though you had no strength left, I took note. When you chose to forgive instead of retaliate, when you chose prayer instead of complaint, my child, in those moments I anointed you without your knowing. Now that oil has soaked into every fiber of your soul, it is no longer a symbol but a spiritual reality. When you walk, the atmosphere will shift. When you speak, your words will carry the weight of heaven. When you lay your hands, I will move. But remember, this oil is not for personal glory, but for mine. Everything you do from now on must flow from the deepest place of surrender. For power without love becomes a double-edged sword, but power blended with love will heal the world. My child, I am breathing new life upon the ashes. Many think their time has passed, but I say, no, their time has just begun. They will rise like Elijah, in a dry generation like Joseph, stepping from prison into the palace, like Esther, transformed from a forgotten girl into a deliverer of her people. And so will you rise, not to be exalted, but to lift others up. The world does not need more heroes. It needs carriers of my presence. And I am sending you as one of them. Do not be afraid if you feel alone at this moment. Everyone truly anointed must walk through a season of stillness. Before I gave David a crown, I gave him a harp and stones. Before I entrusted Joseph with authority, I allowed him chains and confinement. Before Jesus revealed his glory, he entered the wilderness. So if I lead you into hiddenness, it is because I am engraving my glory deep within you, so that when the world sees you, they will not see you but me in you. The glory that is coming is not like the flash of worldly brilliance. It does not dazzle for a moment and fade. It shines forever in the heart. It does not only light upon you, but shines through you. This glory is not for decoration, but for transformation. When it touches you, you will no longer live for yourself, but as the current of my love flowing through humanity. You will see miracles not merely happen around you, but flow from within you. Your words will awaken souls. Your eyes will carry healing. Your very presence will remind the broken that heaven is near. Do not despise the small beginnings. I often start with the mustard seed of faith. You need only to say yes, and I will do the rest. When you whisper, let it be, the heavens move. When you pray, I open doors. When you sing through tears, I rewrite history. You do not have to understand the plan, you only need to walk. Every step of faith you take sounds like a trumpet blast in the spirit realm, announcing that my glory is advancing upon the earth. My child, the world will soon witness a clear separation between those who speak of me and those who abide in me, between those who use my name for gain and those who carry my name in their hearts. Stand with the light, my child. Choose the narrow way even if it is lonely. Choose truth even if it costs you. For I will pour my glory not upon the crowd, but upon those who have died to themselves. And when they rise in me, the whole earth will shine. My beloved one, I am calling you to a deeper surrender, where your yes is no longer spoken with lips but lived through your life. I do not need perfection. I need willingness. The rest I will accomplish. When I chose Moses, he said he could not speak, yet through his weakness I spoke with power. When I chose Gideon, he trembled with fear, yet through his trembling I revealed strength. In the same way, I do not require you to be enough, I will make you enough. All I need is a tender heart that I can fill. I am raising up people like the wind, not bound by religion, not confined by form, but led by my spirit. They will speak my words without fear. They will love as I love, even when misunderstood. They will bring peace into chaos and light into death. They will not seek titles, for they already bear my name. They will not crave power, for they already carry the power of love. My child, take your place among them. I am preparing a great field, the field of final glory. The harvest will not come by human strength, but by the movement of my spirit. Every seed of faith you have sown in tears will blossom in the light of my presence. Every prayer that seemed unanswered will become the rain of revival. Everything you lost for my sake will be restored not with possessions but with souls redeemed. The glory that is coming will make you forget your pain. It will draw you into the symphony of heaven, where there are no more tears, only the sound of holy, holy, holy. My child, I tell you this, do not fear the great light that is coming. It will not blind you, it will open your eyes. You will see as I see. You will love as I love. You will speak as I speak. And in that moment you and I will act as one, no longer promise but reality. For the time has come for my glory to be revealed upon the earth. Those who know me will shine like the sun in the kingdom of their Father. My child, you are part of that light. Arise, shine, for the glory of the Lord has risen upon you. Beloved, listen closely, for in this hour the sound of heaven is echoing across the earth. It does not come like thunder, but like a sacred wave, flowing through every awakened soul. It is the trumpet of the Spirit, the sound announcing a divine shift as the line between heaven and earth grows thin, and my people are called to rise. Do you hear it, my child? The call does not come from afar. It comes from within, from the seed of heaven I planted in your spirit long ago. The time has come for the chosen to stand, not to exalt themselves, but to fulfill my ancient promise that light will cover the earth and my glory will shine upon my people. This call is not a gentle invitation, it is a holy summons. It calls you out of apathy, out of comfort, out of fear and doubt, into the position I prepared for you before the foundations of the world. For the hour I appointed has come, and those who hear my voice will no longer remain still. When this call resounds, the spiritual realm stirs. Angels are sent forth. Ancient gates once held by the enemy are being unlocked by the power of my Spirit. What was delayed begins to move. What was buried begins to rise. For when I speak, the universe responds. The earth trembles not from fear, but from recognition that the Creator is walking once more among the fields of men, gathering souls for the final harvest. I am calling those who can hear my voice amid the noise, amid debate, confusion, fear, and deception, those whose spirits remain tuned to the melody of heaven. You are one of them. My voice does not always thunder, but when your soul learns to be still, you will hear it as clearly as water flowing over stone. It is the whisper of heaven saying, "Come, my child, the time has come. Take your place in the purpose I have prepared for you. My child, this is the hour of separation. I am distinguishing those who merely speak of me from those who truly walk in me. I am separating gold from dust, light from darkness, truth from imitation. The enemy has sown tares among my wheat, but now the sickle of my Spirit is descending, and I declare, who belongs to me, rise up, for the season of preparation has ended, and the season of action has begun. Those who hesitate will be left behind amid the shaking of heaven, but those who stand in faith will be carried into the wave of glory that is coming. There is an awakening spreading across the spirit realm, not confined to one place but moving through the four winds. Strongholds are trembling. Souls long asleep in religion are beginning to open their eyes. Those once wounded by doctrine are being revived by my Spirit's touch. And those who seemed forgotten, the hidden ones who prayed in secret, are now being called by name from heaven. I am raising up an army of worshipers, not wielding swords of steel, but armed with prayer, faith, and love. This call is not for preachers alone. It is for all who carry my breath. The one who sets the table, the mother who prays in silence, the worker among smoke and dust, the artist who writes sacred melodies, all are called. For my glory no longer dwells behind temple walls. It flows wherever my people abide. Where there is true love, there I am. Where there is surrender, there my kingdom expands. And when my people awaken to the truth that they are living temples of the Holy Spirit, the world will tremble before the power of unity. Do not think this call is merely to serve. It is an invitation to destiny. You were not created just to exist. You were created to reveal me among mankind. When you walk in a covenant, you do not represent a religion. You embody love made flesh. When you forgive, the world sees me. When you stoop to wash another's feet, heaven stoops with you. When you love without condition, the powers of darkness tremble, for love is the greatest weapon of all. I am awakening your spirit, because the world needs carriers of divine breath, men and women not driven by fear, but by the flame of grace. They will not argue to be right. They will live to reveal truth. They will not seek control. They will release the power of healing. You are part of that river, the river of revival flowing through every nation, tongue, and generation. It does not begin on platforms or in halls, but in hearts, broken open by love for me. My child, the trumpet of heaven is sounding, calling forth those prepared for the final battle of the spirit realm. This is not a war of flesh and blood, but of truth against deception, of light against darkness. Your weapons are not anger, but prayer. When you kneel, the earth will quake. When you sing, chains will fall. When you speak my word, the veil of lies will tear. This is the hour to rise in power, but also to bow in humility. For those truly anointed do not walk in pride, but in the gentle radiance of the Holy Spirit. The enemy knows his time is short. He multiplies confusion, striving to exhaust my people, to divide and to make them doubt. But remember, the darker the night, the brighter the light. This is not the time to fear. It is the time to stand firm in your calling. Keep your eyes fixed on me. Let my word be your anchor. Do not be swayed by false voices, emotions, or noise. Stay rooted in my truth, for it is the sword that cuts through the shadows. The final gates are opening. Heaven is drawing nearer than ever before. I am calling you not merely to live for me, but to live as me, to carry the heart of Jesus into every dark corner. Do not wait for perfection. Walk in the truth you already know. For every small step of faith you take echoes in eternity as a resounding answer to the final call. So when this call resounds, my child, do not delay. Respond with your whole soul, Lord, here I am. When you say those words, all of heaven moves. Angels go before you. My spirit surrounds you. And my glory follows after you as the mark of one chosen. And I declare, be awake, for the harvest is here and the trumpet is sounding. Let those with ears hear, let those with hearts respond. I do not call to test, I call to choose. I do not summon to frighten, I summon to bless. Take your place, bearer of light. Do not let hesitation steal your moment of destiny. For the hour of glory has struck, and you are part of the final song of heaven. My beloved, this is the hour of harvest, the hour when I, the Lord of all nations, descend to gather the souls sown through tears and prayer. This is the moment when heaven and earth touch, when the boundary between the seen and unseen fades. It is no longer prophecy, it is fulfillment. What I promised through generations I now complete. And you, my child, are part of that divine work. My child, every season before this one was preparing for now. Every tear you shed was not wasted, it became rain watering the spiritual field. Every time you chose faith in adversity, you sowed a seed of belief. Every time you forgave instead of retaliating, you sowed a seed of mercy. Every prayer you whispered for others in secret became a seed of sacrificial love. Now the wind of my spirit is blowing across that field. Every seed will bloom. You will see with your eyes what you once only dared to believe in your heart. You will hear songs where there were once tears, and you will understand that everything I have done carries eternal purpose. This harvest is unlike any before. It does not come through human effort, but by the wind of my spirit. It is not only a harvest of souls, but of glory. Every battle you fought, every moment you held faith. When you saw no path, these now stand as testimonies of my power on earth. People will ask, how could such things be? And you will say, not by might nor by power, but by the Spirit of the Lord. In the very place of your weakness I will reveal strength. In the place of your failure I will bring forth life. Those once called insignificant will be lifted. Those forgotten will be remembered. Those who endured in silence will be entrusted with spiritual authority, for I forget no faithful soul. No prayer is ever lost in the chambers of heaven. What seemed silent was the womb of miracles. Now the heavens are open, and I proclaim, reap, for the field is golden and full. Do not view this harvest with natural eyes. Before I reap the world, I reap your soul. Everything I do outwardly begins within. If your heart is purified, you will see me more clearly. If your spirit stays tender, you will hear me more deeply. This is not only the world's harvest, it is your harvest, the gathering of maturity, peace, and new authority. I am pruning not to cause loss, but to prepare you to bear more fruit. In this hour, the heavens expand. I am arranging divine encounters between angels and men, between my will and your surrender. You may sense the atmosphere around you tremble, that is heaven drawing near. I will show you signs, prayers answered swiftly, hearts awakened, events once deemed coincidence now marked with my fingerprints. For the veil between heaven and earth grows thin. This is the fulfillment of what I spoke through the prophet Joel. I will pour out my spirit on all flesh. Your sons and daughters shall prophesy, your old men shall dream dreams, your young men shall see visions. My child, this is no longer a distant prophecy, it is happening in your lifetime. Do not think yourself small. In my hand, no soul is small. I am using the nameless to accomplish the extraordinary. I am breathing life over barren lands, and from them will rise radiant fields of grace. You will witness this. Those who denied me will return. Places once dead will live again, and worship will flow like a rising river. I am also calling the carriers of light to step out from the hidden places. They have been prepared in darkness, refined in solitude, tested by fire. Now they will be sent to carry my glory across the earth. You are among them. I do not need a great name from you. I need your obedience. When you speak, I will add power. When you go, I will go with you. When you stand, I will uphold you. Do not fear, my child. I am not sending you empty-handed. I give you the power of my Spirit, and my glory will go before you like a pillar of fire. This is the season of unity among my people. I am tearing down walls of division. No more Jew or Greek, rich or poor, male or female, for all are one in me. Envy will fade, pride will crumble, and love will be the common language of the kingdom. When my people unite, heaven and earth will collide with immeasurable power. Many will be healed without a hand being laid on them. Many souls will be freed simply by my presence manifest in my people. The days ahead will not be easy, but they will be radiant with glory. Darkness will try to cover the earth, but my light will blaze like an unending dawn. While the world trembles in fear, my people will stand firm in peace. When others seek refuge, my people will become the refuge. When lies fill the air, my word in your mouth will tear the darkness apart. Do not be afraid, my child. I have chosen you for this hour, not to survive, but to overcome. When the harvest is complete, there will be a great reunion between heaven and earth, Creator and creation. It will not be the end, but the dawn of eternity. Everything you and I have built, every prayer, every act of sacrifice, every seed of faith, will become the crown of glory you lay at my feet on that day. And I will say, well done, my faithful servant. You were faithful with little. Now enter into the joy of your Lord. Everything I began in you I will complete. No seed forgotten, no tears wasted. This harvest is not for you alone, but for a world groaning in expectation. All creation longs to see the sons and daughters of God revealed, and now, my child, this is your time. Walk not in fear, but in the glory of the one who dwells within you. Look ahead with radiant hope, for I go before you, beside you, and within you. And when all is fulfilled, you will know that every season, every trial, every tear was part of the eternal love story between you and me. And I declare, lift up your head, my child. The glory of the Lord has come and is shining within you. Do not fear what is to come, for it is not the end but the union of heaven and earth in everlasting glory. I have spoken, and what I have spoken shall not return void. Step into the season of my splendor, for I am with you now and forever. Thank you for receiving today's message. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell to continue receiving the living word, to strengthen your faith, and to walk daily in the boundless love of God. Amen.